Let me tell you about one of the most difficult things that I've ever had to do in my life, which is go to my main investor and tell him that we had failed. We felt that there was an opportunity to build an internet website that would use passionate sports fans to create an alternative to something like ESPN. That was our idea. We called it Fanbase, and we were very passionate about it, as we are passionate sports fans ourselves.
Even though we got up to 15 million visitors a month, we knew we hadn't really cracked the code, and we probably weren't building the next ESPN. And that was a harsh reality for us.
We had said, maybe the best thing is for us to give the money back. We don't have an idea that we can pivot into.
One of the hardest things is when you do fail and you come up short, it's having the confidence and maybe the audacity to get back on the field.
Coming up with a new idea is a very creative, nonlinear process.
One of the ways that we did this is that we had a standing 10 a.m. meeting every single day to come up with the next great billion-dollar idea. And your job for the rest of the day was to go try and prove out whether or not that was real, to see whether you woke up the next morning still excited about the idea, going out into the marketplace and testing that hypothesis with people beyond just the two of us. And so that was very important.
And I used to joke with them and say, it's not going to be easy. You can't look at your calendar and at 10 a.m. it says, come up with billion-dollar idea. And then 1 p.m. it says, feel great about billion-dollar idea. And then, you know, the next day it's work on billion-dollar idea. That's not the way it works.
Hey, it's crazy. We have this issue in our neighborhood, and there's no easy way for us to be able to talk to each other in our neighborhood or talk to the city about how to fix it. And this really just served as a way to get the ball rolling and having conversations about local community. And from that, there was a discussion about, gee, that's odd. We're all very disconnected from our own neighborhoods. And that was something that was very different and a departure from the memories that we all had growing up in our hometowns. What we saw with Nextdoor was that people started to rely on it pretty quickly as a way to stay informed about what was happening in their community, in their neighborhood, where their kids were playing in the backyard, where they were walking to school. This is something that people need to feel safe and secure where they live.
There have been missing children that have been found using Nextdoor. I mean, there are lost pets that are found almost every day. There are burglaries that have been prevented. Those are the extremes. But on a daily basis, it's the really small things that make us feel like that original notion of bringing back a sense of community to the neighborhood, which is the mission of the company. As of early 2015, over 50,000 neighborhoods had adopted Nextdoor, and that represented over 35% of all neighborhoods in the country. The company had over 100 employees, had raised over $200 million in venture capital financing, and yet, even at that moment, we felt like we were right at the very beginning of the opportunity. The experience of Fanbase, where we fell in love with something and then ultimately couldn't make that what we wanted it to be, it kept us honest. It kept us rigorous. It kept us disciplined. Can't call ourselves one-take geniuses. Take two.
That was pretty good, though.